to Shift Happens! Week number 248!
Alright,
Take two.
hi there, welcome. So we're joined by a special guest today.
Yes.
And we're thrilled to have our special guest with us.
We are.
Honored.
Internet famous.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he's well documented, well read, probably been in some videos, active on Facebook.
Yeah, quite active. And Twitter.
And Twitter, yeah. Obviously, Dr. Chuck.
Yay!
So I'm going to tell a story about Chuck. First of all, show everybody your arms really quick. Just go like this. Just go like this. Those things are huge.
You
So,
want to see him come down the basketball court at you. That's what's scary.
well, yeah, like at you.
Dude, you gotta set some massive screens out there.
I didn't know that you played pony boy basketball. So when did it's kind of funny, and I'll let you guys tell your story. But when did I first meet you?
First meet was
Yeah, like on a phone call.
On a phone call. Yeah, I remember you called me one day just to see how things were going in my practice.
Exactly, that's what I did. And so I had this because I was in full blown Chiro man mode, and we're not going to get into it. But so I get this, and I was just like, bah! That's kind of what I was, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And then he kind of explained it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I run into you like what, a year later,
Yeah.
and he comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, I'm Chuck. How do you pronounce your name?"
Schulmeyer.
It's Skullmeyer. I don't know.
But I let you, yeah, you Schulmeyer.
Skullmeyer, but he says it's Schulmeyer, whatever. So it's my video. So anyway, so he comes up to me and tells me who he is, and then remember the first thing I said to you?
I think she said, "Damn, you're big."
I was like, "Holy crap, you're big!" And that's not what I said. There was another word in there,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't remember that. Then I go, "Are you still mad at me?" You go, "No, I'm over it." And I was like, "Promise?" I was like, "You see the size of this guy?" And so then I go, he goes, "No, I'm not mad at you. We talked about it." And I just kept going, "You have really big arms." The whole time I'm like, I go, and he goes, "I'm not mad at you, but my wife still is." And I looked at your wife, Lori, and I go, "You still mad at me?" And you go, your wife goes, "Damn right I am." So, but anyway, so Chuck is a cool dude. He practices up the road in Fremont from us. Hope you can see me in there. And I don't want anybody in the way or anything. We got to make sure we see everything.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So,
Can I just say something quick?
yeah.
Dr. Matt, you're not the baldest guy in the shift anymore.
I got my hair cut. What are you talking about? What? And so I'm gonna sneak out here, just be off camera, so I don't want to block Chuck. But I mean, I'm literally phenomenal dude. Great chiropractor. Thrilled you come in and get it checked every now and then. We go down and get you checked and send our people to you, and they love you, your staff, Jackie and Diane. What are you gonna do when like they decide to retire?
Oh,
Soon.
I got one retiring soon.
So what are you gonna do? Come work with us?
Yeah.
How's that
With the
gonna
whole
work?
practice here.
Okay, that'll be interesting. You can put this room. You could use this room.
This is the big room.
Yeah, you can do this. Perfect. It's cold though. I mean, Mike says it's cold.
We'll get him a heater.
You need a big heater for this
Yeah,
room.
get that space heater.
So I'm gonna. I mean, this isn't where I was gonna go on the shift, but since you were here, I thought the story again. So I'll let Mikey tell the story. I mean, this is you're the reason he's stuck here with us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're
If
welcome.
you weren't so big, I'd like hit you. I think I could hit you. I just think that you would hit me back.
A lot harder.
Yeah, a lot harder. Why do you think when I said that, Dan? You still mad at me? But just in case, just so you know, I mean, like, if somebody were to come along, you know, and like, you know, you'd protect me, wouldn't you?
I'd protect you.
Hey, did you hear that? He'll protect me. So anyway, so Mikey, it's all yours.
So this is, he said, Dr. Chuck practices in Fremont. That's where I grew up. So Dr. Chuck and I used to play noon ball together at the Fremont YMCA.
I didn't know that.
His brother played with us. My dad played every now and then. So that's how we actually met Dr. Chuck. I think I was in either high school. It was in '97 when you came to Fremont. So I think '98 was when we started coming to see you. But
Yeah,
Dad started going in, and then he brought the family in, and then I was going to Midland there in Fremont. So I was still going in to see Dr. Chuck all the time regularly to get my adjustments. And then one day he's like, hey, what are you doing for school? And at that point I had no clue. I had changed my major like probably 3 or 4 different times.
Well, you were like an art major or something, weren't you?
Architecture.
Literature?
That was the first year.
Art and literature, is that what you said?
He's telling me. So,
I mean, you look like a literature major.
no, not a literature major. Anyways, so as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, you were the literature major, weren't you?
No.
Nebraska Wesleyan.
That's a liberal arts
school. We
school.
won't get into the NIAC stuff about that. So
We weren't NIAC then, were we?
you would have been NIAC.
Were we NIAC? Yeah. I mean, I'm old enough
GPAC,
to.
you know.
I'm old enough to be your father, so I mean.
Okay. You try to date yourself?
Yeah, I am.
Please
So anyways,
continue.
so Dr. Chuck asked me.
Oh wait, you guys can participate. I'm sorry.
It is his camera.
Go ahead.
Are we done yet?
No, keep going.
So one day, Dr. Chuck, I come in, he's asking me how school is, what's going on, and he says, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and he's like, have you ever thought about being a chiropractor? And I was like, no. And then at that moment, going forward, every time I came to the office, I started paying attention to what does he do here. He's always having a blast. People love coming in there. The ladies are great up front. Jackie and Diane, or Jackie wasn't working there then, but Diane was. Your wife was in there every now and then back then. And everybody was just always happy, loved being there. It was a blast. I knew when I went there, my body felt better. I worked better.
Mike, your wife just sent you a text.
Thanks. I knew that my body looked better. I was playing football and running track in college. My results, my performances were better. So I just knew, hey, this is really cool. Started looking into it. He showed me kind of guided me through where I needed to go. And came back at the end of school, did my precept, my internship with him. He sent me to a bunch of his friends. He didn't send me to Dr. Koca because he didn't like him at that point. That's why I didn't come
I did
here.
not send him there. I said, do not go
Yeah,
there.
you're like, don't go there.
The phone call happened.
So, but that's what got me to where I am today. If it hadn't been for one single question, which is why it's so important for us to ask that question in our own patients and people that we see, one simple question can change somebody's life. So,
Okay, now it's up to you, Dr. Chuck. We're done hogging the video. I promise I won't talk again.
Yeah, promises. Yeah, I remember that very well, Mike, when you came in, and I was always excited about it. I remember telling the girls, like, I think this guy would be a good chiropractor. And so I remember telling you, nah, you don't want to go into that, don't go into this, because I think you were thinking about athletic training, physical therapy, some other things. You're kind of all over the world. I said, why don't you do what the best profession in the world is and help the most people, which is chiropractic. And that's how I got into it as well.
How many years you been in practice, Chuck?
I've been in practice, graduated in 94, so 21.
And I could say this now. I'm done goofing off and say this. Well, I was serious about some of the stuff I said. Like, would you protect me? And I was serious. You're not mad at me anymore, are you? But I would say Chuck's probably one of those guys that, I mean, he's a chiropractor's chiropractor.
Yep.
And I mean, that's the best way to describe him.
Yep.
You know, one of the first times I met you at that event, we won't say, but I mean, you were a chiropractor's chiropractor, and we sat and talked that night, and I was like, man, this dude loves chiropractic. You just built a brand new clinic,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Do you have a son going to chiropractic school?
I have a son who will be, he's a sophomore in college right now who's going into chiropractic.
Okay.
I have another one who's 11, no, I guess he's 12. That's what he'll do when he's done being a professional, whatever. Basketball, baseball, whatever the sport is. But, you know, I'm always looking to, build up the profession. And I'm always looking that we need more chiropractors. And I always look at any patient I have, I always think of them, could this person be a chiropractor? So I have, I don't know, probably 6 or 12 kids right now that are below the age of 8th grade that I already talked to about it.
That's cool.
awesome.
You know, what's interesting about that, though, and you do that, and when I came to Omaha, probably like you when you set up your practice, when I came to Omaha, there was one guy, Dr. Bruce, who we know watches the videos all the time. Hi, Dr. Bruce. Wave at Dr. Bruce.
Hi, Dr. Bruce.
But he was the only guy when I came to Omaha that said, yeah, let me help you out.
And my first chiropractor.
And it was Matt's first chiropractor, ironic as that. Where a lot of chiropractors are afraid, because another chiropractor coming to town, where if you ain't making them, you're developing them. which I commend. That's why I said you're a chiropractor. So that's, the first time face to face after I realized that you weren't mad at me anymore, I was like, wow, this guy's. And I even told my wife that, and I would go up to her room, and I was like, that dude's cool. And she goes, yeah, you're lucky you didn't make him mad. I said, well, his wife's still mad at me. But I think my wife and your wife are friends now, so I think I got it made.
So I don't know the story. What got you into chiropractic?
Well, our story with me and Lyle even goes back further. We were both at Nebraska Wesleyan at the same time.
That's right.
He was on the basketball team, and he couldn't make the football team, so he played basketball.
Well, have you seen the size of me? You're huge. I'm not. And I can't kick the ball, so I couldn't be a kicker.
But actually, it's a good story, because actually that's how I got into chiropractic. Actually, I was faced with back surgery and not playing sports anymore because I was having some issues. So my mom said, well, let's go to the chiropractor, which I didn't really know what that was at the time, but I thought, yeah, that's better than getting cut off.
Wasn't Woody a chiropractor? Didn't we have a chiropractor there that...
Not that I knew, but I didn't know anything about chiropractic.
Okay.
No, that's how I got into it. So I was a freshman in college at the time, and I went to a great chiropractor, Dr. Groney, up in Schuyler, was my chiropractor. And through him and a guy actually I played football with at Wesleyan, that's how I decided not to go to medical school, and I went to chiropractic.
Who was that at Wesleyan?
It was Todd Carmer.
Are you serious?
Did you know Todd?
I know Todd, yeah.
Well, how about that?
Small world, yeah.
So that's how I got into chiropractic.
Cool. Walker, you got anything for this guy?
What do you see the biggest difference after 21 years?
21 years, the biggest difference I see is I look at myself as probably more humble about it and more appreciative of the profession now and want to protect it because of what it did for me and what I see it does for my family than it was 21 years ago. I think about just the love of it continues to grow because I stay in it. And it always breaks my heart to see anybody leave the profession that is a chiropractor. Some, I want to boot them out. But there's other ones you want to,
You could though, because have you seen the size of him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I only think about it myself. We were just talking about that beforehand. As I'm seeing some of the students come out, as I'm seeing a different flavor sometimes, so it kind of worries me a little bit. But but on the good hand, that's why I feel like it's my job then to send some good ones there, and keep track of them.
Put your mark on them.
Yeah. That's actually what I do. I do put my mark on them. I keep track. I want to know what they're doing.
That's a big mark.
Yep.
There's one right there.
Yes.
So.
And I'm going to help them every spot I can because we need good chiropractors out there.
I agree.
People need that.
So, closing, gentlemen. Mike, he's your chiropractor. Any closings with him?
In closing, I just want to tell him thank you, which I know I've thanked him before, but I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that. So
I'll say
very cool. And it's an honor for me now, which I think is really, really cool because I don't know how many people get this opportunity, but I get to adjust him now, which is awesome. So it's always a joy to get to come when he comes in here or when I get to drive out to Fremont, which I try to do. I haven't been out there in a couple months, but getting to go out there and see the girls and just kind of hang out a little bit at his office and just see what he's doing. So.
I'll say selfishly, and I speak for Matt and Walker and Ashley standing behind me, who I don't know if she's ever going to leave us. She keeps saying, I'm leaving, and that was 14 months. 18 months ago, you're still here. I don't know what the deal is. So you just want, food, I think. But I'm going to speak selfishly for being the president of Chiro World. I thank you for showing this kid chiropractic because, when he first got out of school, I wouldn't hire him. And so now we got him. And so thank you. So with that.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, peace out. See you next week.